Hello everyone and welcome to a Throwback Thursday. This time the Crisis 2013 wargaming show organized by the Tin Soldier of Antwerp, and it was again in the Wagnasi with the second year, so big airy room. Great show as always, but here are first some pictures to give an impression of the crowd, and it was big and there was space, so there was quite an amazing experience. So trade stands were well present and a lot of gorgeous games were on demonstration. So another thing compared to last year was a mildly impressive bringing by a flea market. It was stormed during the first hour by people looking for deals. I went to have a stroll after midday in there and see most people had been doing good business. So I still doubt my average wargamer has the same special character box set 10 times in his basement, though. Even those kind of people were also on the bring and buy, but yeah, that's a discussion for something else. Now let's have a look at the stuff you were waiting for, the eye candy. And as with any show report, I will stuck in club names and game names, so if you recognize yourself, put reply down here. It's never gonna be my best thing to take notes, so a very large and impressive Napoleonic game was one of my personal favorites that day. There was a small-scale airplane game going on. Next table there was a Dark Ages raid going on, full swing, next to a Drop Zone Commander demo game. Drop Zone Commander came out that year. It was big. I think a lot of people bought it, but I never tried to actually play it. Crooked Dice, they have gorgeous models always. And Uti was doing his full sales pitch swing. The Odd Porcupines battled it out. There was a wooden train cut to size. It looks fine. It was the beginning of the MDF. So we moved on from the cardboard game that was a terrain that was all hype 1 or 2 years before, and we went to MDF. And to be honest, I think it's an improvement. So there was also a stand. Back then it was futuristic 3D printing for the Eiffel Tower, and now, well, we all have almost everyone has a printer at home, and we build our terrain on a daily basis. So small scale gaming, this is the kind of game I'm going to be forced to play, because, well, I don't have a big gaming room here and I've got a toddler, so yeah. It was barely day for it to say for my enemies, but 50mm World War II was like the most played on the whole show. It was not necessarily Flames of War, as you can see a variety of pictures here, on snow terrain. There was another era of big battalion game in 28mm. Was also taking present. There was the Great War. Don't say that, back then you didn't see that often. There was Culloden 1746 with the Highlanders took on the British. I love the game and the looks of it, even though it's not my era. X-Wing, it's still a popular game 11 years later, so it has well, hit the mark. Wings of War back then was all the thing, and X-Wing basically overruled that. This was a variety of a Star Trek Attack Wing, but yeah, they're both like the same game system, more or less, but yeah, they are great fun, and you got pre-painted figures and everything. So there were 2 War Machine games going on well, a bit of 2 levels, so that was impressive to see. Warhammer wasn't that well represented that year. I thought the most of the fantasy actually was present in the bargain bins. Lord, do the times have changed now. The Flames of War game again, so yeah, still impressive looking. Song of American Civil War Skirmish. I love the rule engine, but for some reason skirmish games American Civil War doesn't do it for me. I think of it as big blue lines and big gray lines, so yeah. Here are some more pictures of various games. Naval World War II game for one. There you have a good, well-presented Blood Bowl match. The stadium is just awesome. The dugouts all down there. Yeah, this was real sheer coolness. There was a Saga demo game. Also one of the newer games back then that has proven over the years to become a mainstay. 50mm American Civil War. Now, that's what I always say is a personal winner in my book, because it's a good scale to have all the big lines and the maneuvering. It was a two-dimensional paper game. A shootout in the Old West was going on. 54mm gaming. It's visually impressive, but well, yeah, it's quite big table that you need for a big battle. And some more picture of games. There was a more X-Wing with a Carillion transport running from the T-fighters. By far a sword was present. I was lucky with the fact that I have Kazakhs at home, and people that are intended to play it have chosen Turks, Swedes and Poles as their army. I can say never materialized, like so many things that you buy at a wargame show with good intentions and then it ends. So Phil was there again with his metagame demo. It was a crawl drawer, simple but beautiful in execution and rules. My two little, back then little cousins, now they're both all bigger as me. They were trying to make sure that victory was turned into defeat, so more Flames of War. Yeah, I tried to convince Nemesis to start playing it. We did for a few years again, but yeah. Nah, just didn't happen. Storming the beach during the longest day was one of the demo games. There was a Vietnam game present. Ancient naval battles, so those always draw lots of looks. I think it's the blue mats, rightly so, but you just don't see that many naval games. There was also an old saying, as you can see, when the Highlanders charge, people are in the right mood. So for the Emperor himself, he watched it, he saw it was all good today. So those were the pictures of the show. I did bring some loot, but it was on the planned and bought list. Okay, I took the Longstreet book, though not the cards yet, and new sort of paint that I didn't know. Readout sold it back then, and the show price of 6 pots of paint for €10. So yeah, that was okay. I used them. They were fine. They weren't the best game paints ever, but yeah, they were good. And the Crisis Limited figure that year was Marshall the Book from the Battle at Ekeren 1703, who actually died on the location where our current clubhouse is standing. So I also picked up from TSS some 50mm banners from my American Civil War, and at the Plastic Soldier Company I did some bargain as well. Reinforcements sprues for 2 Cromwells and Sherman Fireflies for my Flames of War late force. That also never happened. I got the by far a sword hardcover rulebook, which was at a show discount, big heavy book. And then in the unplanned bring and buy I bought is detailing the uniforms of the American Civil War, pay a book for €5. So it was a good crisis show, no financial dramas afterwards. I kept nicely in budget, and yeah, up to the next show. Thanks for listening to my ramblings, and I'll see you back next Thursday for more Throwback Thursday goodness. Bye bye.